Hi, I'm Amy Riolo, and today I'm going to show you how to make sizzling scallops with a white balsamic glaze over a bed of spinach in our rotator. There's nothing like a plate of hot sizzling scallops over spinach or greens that really give you great flavor and great nutrition at the same time. Today I'm going to show you how to make sizzling scallops in minutes in our rotator. I've got the rotator preheated to 750 degrees, so let's get started. So I've got our rotator preheated to 750 degrees, and I'm heating up my skillet, and that way we can get a really great sear on top. And I'm using a hook just to help me get it out of the oven. We're gonna hit it with some extra virgin olive oil, and you can see how quickly that starts to work. Now we'll add in our dry scallops. You wanna make sure to get what is labeled as dry when you purchase the scallops, because sometimes if they're not labeled that way, they have an additive called TSP in them. And the TSP adds weight to the scallops, so they cost less, but it prevents them from searing. And I've made that mistake before on TV. We don't want the chemicals in our scallops, so just make sure you get really good quality, dry, fresh scallops. We're gonna load them right onto the skillet, and it's amazing because the minute you put them on here, the minute they start cooking, but the skillet actually loses a lot of heat. I'm gonna sprinkle these with some sea salt and then some freshly cracked pepper. We can already see that some of them are starting to turn, so we can use our tongs. And here's a little trick. If they don't turn over easily, let them be. Don't force them over. You want to really make sure that they're turning when they're ready. They're the boss in this recipe, not us. So these are turning right over. I love this because it's so quick, so delicious. Everybody loves scallops, right? And they're kind of like afraid to make them at home, but there's no reason to be. So that one's giving me a little bit of resistance, kind of like an angry person. We just let him go until he calms down a little bit, and then we'll turn him over. Meanwhile, these are getting a great sear on both sides, so I'm gonna move them around. And this one is now ready to go. So they can go back into the rotator. This is not going to take long at all. So we've gone through 2 rotations and it looks nice and ready. And I'm just gonna pull these right onto the surface. Make sure the underside is cooked too. Oh, that's beautiful. Just all the way through and on both sides. Make sure you're using long enough tongs that you don't get burnt. And now I'm gonna hit these with my secret ingredient. So we've got my white balsamic dressing. You could use regular balsamic if you like. I like this white balsamic because it's made with Trebbiano grapes, so there's no additives. It's just very sweet Trebbiano. It's gonna coat this with an almost honey-like flavor that really just kind of invades all of the cells of these little scallops, and it's gonna make them really moist, juicy, full of flavor, and a nice sweet and sour seafood medley. So our scallops are still singing and enjoying their bath in this delicious balsamic glaze. You could use lemon or orange or really whatever you like to give them flavor. But while they're still hot, what I like to do to plate them up is put down some spinach or arugula, your favorite green, whatever you like, down on the bed of a plate like this. And then I'm just going to arrange the scallops right down on top. You could also put these with pasta, with risotto, with barley, quinoa, any of your favorite grains. The scallops will do really well. But since they're nice and seared, I would kind of keep them the main event. I would definitely not have these in a soup or something where they're gonna lose their integrity, because they're so nice and beautiful and meaty that they're great just like this. And then we can drizzle what's left of our glaze right on top. Now I'll just finish with a little bit of salt, some more freshly cracked pepper, and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And so there we have our sizzling scallops over a bed of spinach.